So, welcome back to the co-sponsor podcast. As you guys know, I educate agents about what it's like to partner with us over here at eXp Realty. And this series is dedicated to talking and working with other agents inside of the eXp organizational structure that have big organizations, big teams, and people that we can co-sponsor with to help you double your income as a real estate agent. So today I have the good fortune of chatting with Nick Good out of McKinney, Texas. He runs a 35 agent team doing about 230 deals a year. Also a proud partner of Place. We'll get into that. Also an investor, owns a contracting company and a property management company. So and a syndication company as well. So the jack of all trades, the master of all, and definitely having a lot of success out there. So why don't you tell us a little bit about a little bit of each of those businesses like we were talking about before, and then what led you to EXP, and it looks like 2019.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on, and we need to do more of this and get back to collaboration a lot more. So, I mean, first off, I've been in the industry for now going on 20 years, which is crazy. I mean, the gray beard, I guess, says it all. But um, yeah, I mean, every business that I have my hand in is real estate related. And I want to backtrack to answer your question. I first started out in the real estate industry at a mom and pop shop and, cut my teeth on that. I was a college graduate, didn't know what I didn't know. And, what I found is that 20 years ago to today, the training hasn't evolved all that much.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from that mom and pop shop to Keller Williams in December of 2007. They were on the cutting edge of the training back then and really the culture. And I thought I found my spot. I thought I found my place that I was going to stay at forever. And that wasn't the case. 2007 to 2019, we had a great run there and built up a very successful team. And what I found is that the industry has continued to evolve, and a lot of the players that make it big, they don't evolve and grow with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started asking questions about this new model called EXP. And at the time, we probably heard all the news or the noise that that model didn't have the right players in it. Didn't have the right leadership, and it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't going to last. Virtual models weren't going to last. The revenue share model that they were paying out wasn't going to last, and it was built on a house of cards. And for the longest time, I believed that. And in 2019, I was on the verge of opening up a Keller Williams franchise office. And as I was going through the kind of franchise orientation, I started asking the legitimate questions of, all right, if I'm going to have to buy a building or lease a building, I'm going to have to put staff in it. And then I'm going to have to recruit and attract and retain agents. But I'm going to have all this liability that's going to happen. Why would I not just look at my competitors that are out there to see what are they doing different? And that's when I really dug into that EXP model, and I saw really the collaboration that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that, all right, if I get to attract agents, I'm truly in financial alignment. Everyone in my upline is in financial alignment with my downline organization to want to help and to assist if an agent needs some type of advice or they need to be pointed in the right direction. And I quickly made that decision July of 2019 to partner with EXP. It was huge, kind of made a lot of waves here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And we never looked back. We were, business grew. It didn't fall. It didn't suffer like other brokers just said it would. We were happier because of the collaboration. This was something that was new. It was, just like you, Jesse, I could get on a call with you and you would freely give me advice without getting behind a paywall, without you saying, "Hey, Nick, you got to pay $9.97 for this, or you got to jump on my monthly fee for this." Right? Because we were in alignment together. We wanted, and we want EXP to win because we're shareholders of this company.
Yep.
And so it was just mind blowing at the time. We were just taken back, and we built a very great and successful organization. We call it. We were part of the Honey Badger Group with Jay Kinder and Michael Reese, and we built our downline organization called the Money Badger Group with myself and Chauncey Pham and Elizabeth Austin. And we have amazing partnership here. And at the same time, what this has allowed me to do is to be able to expand my outreach, expand my businesses. So I opened up a residential property management company that helps service a lot of our investors and helps service investor clients that maybe become accidental landlords, especially in this type of high inventory, slow demand market we're in. A lot of homeowners may have to unfortunately, be forced to become a landlord depending on their current situation. And so we've built up a successful residential property management company that now manages a little over 400 doors, 400 properties, and we started that in October of 2021. So we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary here in the next couple of months. And then because of that property management company, we got into the remodeling and contracting business. So ProCare Home Solution is a company that I'm a partner in, and they work side by side. And then also we do front facing remodels for clients, and that comes with its own challenges. From when you're doing construction in someone's house, it's definitely stressful for everyone involved. And that company is doing about $150,000 to $200,000 a month in revenue, and we're barely a year and a half old. So growing really, really quickly. And then the last two that I have is really my own personal investments. This, because of real estate, because of learning how to buy and sell and working with clients, and the type of income that we were blessed and being able to earn and grow, that we bought several self-storage businesses and several real single family properties, as well as I have a partnership in an assisted care and memory care center. And then we started our multifamily syndication company called Deep Blue Capital, where we go to high net worth accredited investors. So if you have over $1 million earnings, or you have over $1 million of net worth, you can become your accredited investor, and you can invest in some of our apartment complexes. We bought a 32 unit C-class apartment complex last year. We bought a 96 bed student housing deal the year before, and we're now on the hunt. We have a couple of LOIs out for our next future project.
Oh, that's exciting. So was EXP like the catalyst that unlocked these doors to all these different ventures, or was that just something completely different?
I think it helped, right? So, my brother and I always had, we call our Disney map. Like, so I've got this pen drawn piece of paper where we drew out everything that we were going to build out over the next couple of years. And part of it was our retail sales business, the Good Home team. Part of it was our investment divisions that we were going to earn off of, our flipping business that we were doing at the time. We had opened up a hard money company as well, so called A&G Funding, and part of that property management was never on there. We just found the right partner, and what EXP allowed it to do was, because of the revenue share that I started to earn, that was another additional income source that really helped. So it helped fuel that desire to continue to grow, and Jesse, I don't know if you're like me on this, but especially in this real estate business, we get to put our hands, or we get to see a lot of different opportunities, and we also get to see where maybe there's a lot of missing gaps that we could go in and solve. And I saw that with the property management world. Property management is like the old school brokerage. It's the old world that is resisting coming to modern technology. They don't really use. If you go look at a lot of the mom and pops, they're still using websites from the early 2000 types, yeah. Built on whatever that's, can't even remember the old school websites that they built them on. But they hardly have AI built into their pieces today. They don't have any kind of modern systems. So we just saw an opportunity to help, especially in our investment world, and the reputation that we have, to be able to go help more and more investors. And the revenue share has been a huge blessing on it. And I'll give you a quick story that we didn't share offline, is that my brother, who's my business partner, unfortunately passed away in October 6th of 2021. And that threw a tailspin at everything we're doing. Right. And what that did was, I had to go work on all the other companies that he was in charge of, our investment divisions, which left our real estate retail business, our real estate sales team business to run on its own and run with the help of the leaders and the top agents that we had in place. Now, because of my rev share that I was earning, and because of the sales team that I built, not once did I ever worry about money coming in. I
Hmm.
knew every single month I'd have a rev share check. I knew roughly what the sales team was doing. Business didn't grow during that time because I wasn't leading it. But we stayed steady. The ship stayed steady, and the revenue share was continuing to come in at a nice clip. It was more than exceeding my household expenses.
Yeah, that's definitely a good value that I think a lot of people don't really have a grasp on here if you're from another organization, because you came from Keller Williams, which did have profit share, which is the same organization I came from, and it's like a fraction of what we get at EXP.
Yeah, I think I
So,
earned $3,000 max at Keller Williams in 1 year.
oh yeah, there was still, I still remember there was a thermometer in our office, and I left in November, and I remember looking at that when I left EXP, and it was at $60,000 for the whole office for the year.
Yep, yep.
And so, anyways, if someone were to join your group today, what type of tools and trainings would they expect to see coming into your organization?
Absolutely. So part of our Honey Badger and Money Badger group is about business teaching principles, right? And so what we come in and teach, and they have access to, is our training. So we from our Honey Badger organization, they get to be a part of the National Association of Expert Advisors. So they get to become a certified home seller and certified home buying advisor, which in today's market, it blows it away. It really, really helps to be able to use those certifications in a high inventory, slow buyer demand type of real estate market. That is what the NAEA home buying and home selling certification was built off of. So they get access to that on day one. And then they get the access to all our scripting, our training, for reaching out, to prospective sellers and buyers, so that they can learn how to say the right things, how to say the right things at the right time, and when to say the right things, so that it will help their conversion rate. And so they'll get into our Honey Badger group to be able to have access, our Facebook group to be able to have access to the weekly trainings that's happening, as well as they can jump into my personal team meeting, the Good Home Teams team meeting. We do that every Tuesday at 8 a.m. So depending on what time zone they're on, they might have to be an early riser to be a part of our team meeting. And from there, we go over mindset principles and implementable tasks and implementable strategies that will work, that will to help convert buyers and sellers at a high level.
Nice. What is something that you think agents really care about right now, but doesn't really matter? Like, what are they getting stuck on and hung up in the weeds on?
I think they're getting stuck right now. They're getting ready to get ready,
Yeah.
right? What they're doing is that they want to know what to say, and they want to know what type of situation they're going to be in before they've even encountered that situation, or whom they're even going to call or reach out to. And so they're trying to prepare for a battle and for a war that they don't even know what they're preparing for.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why 74% of real estate agents in 2024 sold zero houses, is that what they end up doing is they're getting ready to get ready. And then ultimately they let fear or their own personal mind take control and start to reject themselves before they even start the process of either reaching out to their sphere and asking for help and say, "Hey, Jesse, could you do me a quick favor? I just, as you know, I'm in the real estate business, and you know, my success is dependent on the people that know, like, trust, and love me about referring, potential business to me, potential clients to me. Do you happen to know anybody that you could get me in contact with that's thinking about buying, or selling, or investing in real estate?" More than likely, you're going to say no. And I say, "Great, thanks, Jesse. How's everything going with you?" Right? I'm going to put you in my CRM system. The problem is most people aren't even using their technology the right way in order to help work with them. They're working against everything. It's like if we were at a river and I told you, "Hey, we need to get to point A to point B," and you started swimming upstream. Well, that makes zero sense. You're going against the current. You're eventually going to get too tired. You're going to stop swimming, and eventually you're going to drown. You're going to leave the business. Your technology piece, which we have here at EXP, we have 3 different choices from a CRM system, and they're the top ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
That is your rapidly flowing river to help take you from point A to point B faster. It's going to work when you're not working. It's going to help notify you of whom you need to reach out to. And it's in something that we talk about when joining our organization and type of mindset is we talk about how to win their lead generation time. And winning their lead generation time is following a consistent schedule. And we teach on principles that work today. We sell 230 houses consistently. My agents are winning in a market that is one of the toughest ones they've ever experienced, that most real estate professionals haven't ever experienced something like this before. The last time we saw this amount of low transaction volume was 1994. I'm 42 years old, so I wasn't selling real estate in 1994.
Yep. Totally makes sense. So like what's a strategy that's working right now that let's just say the 74% of agents that sold 0 homes, which is 1.1 million agents, what could they be doing if you were advising them to get in the game?
So, I mean, they can take this right now, whether they joined with me or not and joined with you, is that the today the implementable strategy is for take 60 minutes every single day, mark it on their calendar, whether it's 11 a.m., whether it's 12 p.m., whether it's 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Do not deviate that.
Mm-hmm.
60 minutes a day, 5 days a week. They are going to set a KPI metric. They're going to set a number of how many people they're going to reach out to. It could be a phone call. It could be a Facebook message. It could be a text message. They're going to do that 60 minutes every single day. That they are on the hunt. They are now hunters. And they are out there looking for a motivated seller and a motivated buyer every single day for 60 minutes. That's it. 5 hours a week. They're going to reach out to their sphere. They're going to message someone on Facebook. They're going to send a text message to someone in their world asking if they know anybody that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Saying, Jesse, could I ask a favor from you? My real estate business is dependent on great referrals from people like you.
Yep.
Do you happen to know anybody that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
Yep. That's
60 minutes every single freaking day. That's it. That's it. I will promise you in the next 90 days, they stayed consistent. They did not deviate from that plan. They did not cheat on it. In the next 90 days, they will be flushed with opportunity.
100% agree. It's funny. I put that on my Instagram every day. The number one thing, it's a very simple message, but the thing is people just don't do it. And somebody actually DM'd me yesterday. They were like, how can you do that without cold calling? I said, I don't know. I just went to Costco and asked the door greeter how many people he sees every hour. And he's like, I count 200. I'm like, there is so many opportunities out there. You just need to take the action. So if you were to like go back 5 years ago, and obviously that puts us into a really interesting time, which is COVID. What would you tell yourself 5 years ago if you could have given yourself one piece of advice?
So if I could go back in time, that's great. You put me on the spot because I wasn't prepared for this one. But 5 years ago, what I would have told myself is that I would have put a better schedule in place. COVID, we were running by the seat of our pants, and what ended up happening is that I should have been better disciplined and more mindful that this market was so temporary that not to get fat and happy.
Mm-hmm.
The shift is always coming. Right now, we're in winter, right? If you're a Game of Thrones watcher, winter has come.
Yep.
But there will be sunny days on the other side of this. We just have to outlast it. So 5 years ago, I wouldn't have let my monthly expenses bloat up on the real estate business side. I would have stayed tried and true and consistent to staying in contact with my past clients. Because what we were doing is we were running our tail off. We were selling 30, 40 houses in a month.
Yep.
Not putting our proper systems in place to stay in touch with them, which is, again, cheating on our CRM, not letting our CRM do the work for us, trying to shortcut the process. So 5 years ago, what I would have done, I would have sat down for a month. I would have built out the right CRM systems with the right auto plans, the right campaigns, putting every single one of our people on market reports, even if they bought a house with us, so that like clockwork, I could know that I would have thousands of people that are getting an email, a text message, a market report, or a listing alert from me. And fast forward 5 years into today, do you know how many? I would probably be at 5, 6, 700 sales if I would have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pure gold. And actually, when I was in corporate America, our owner, when I worked for the Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams, one of the biggest breweries in the world, the owner used to say, when the markets are crazy, you go pedal to the metal and sell as much as possible. And then when the market slows, you dot your I's, cross your T's, put your systems in place. So it will take a cycle in your situation to like, we will see another market surge. So when that happens, I'm sure you're ready for that this time.
Absolutely. I will tell you, and this is something that we teach anybody in our organization, our downline, whether they are on our team or just in our downline rev share group, is how can the mindset about making sure they're not cheating on their systems. The minute that they follow it, because this is the slow time, they could be super busy. We have agents selling, 8, 10, 15 houses a month right now. Still, we have agents having their best real estate career they've ever had. But it's because they're not cheating on their systems. They're not cheating on their lead gen time. They're staying disciplined. And the more people that you put on a listing alert and a market report, and you put on some type of what seems like personal email, which you can do now with AI, becoming AI enhanced, not AI replaced,
Mm-hmm.
there is no reason why they should know who Nick Good or Jesse Dow is.
Yeah,
There would be no reason. If you get in
exactly.
my system, I'm going to tell you right now, you're getting a listing alert from me and a market report from me, even if I don't know where you live.
Nice. I like that. What kind of agent thrives in your organization?
That's a so I'm gonna that's a it's an evolving question. So we used to be a pound and ground type of agent. This would be someone who who maybe had a blue collar upbringing. And it was someone who was not afraid to jump on the phones. It was not afraid to just follow scripts. It was not afraid to get rejected on cold calls. We were a cold calling machine. Our agents were making 3,000, individually, they were making 1,500 to 3,000 cold calls a week,
Well,
right? It's hard to find those people today. We don't, as humans, we don't want to be rejected.
yeah.
And so we had to evolve. The agents that we're looking for are hungry, motivated implementers who are willing to understand that they follow a proven, we'll call it paint by numbers system, that they will have success. So the type of agent is again, as long as they're hungry and motivated, and they're willing to implement, that they don't let their ego get in the way and saying this won't work because of XYZ, or I don't want to do this, which is reaching out to your sphere, your database, taking time to build a 200-person contact list of a phone number. Hopefully you get their email address and you upload them into their system. So hungry, motivated, and humble agents is who we're looking for.
And then do you have like an example of someone that's joined your group and have seen massive growth implementing those strategies?
Absolutely. I've got several. I've got a brand new one right now. Beth Plate. She just joined a week ago, and she joined our team meetings prior to that. So she's been on our team meetings now for the last 3 times. So she's probably been in our ecosystem for about 45 days now, but licensed the last week and a half, and is already working with a one. They're buying 1.3 and they're selling a $2 million house, which here in McKinney, in the McKinney, Texas area, still that's a great price point. That's a luxury clientele. We've got another brand new agent, brand new, signed her first listing within 10 days of joining our team, and following the systems, 200 contacts, uploading them, reaching out. That one is at price point at 299,000. I've got an agent in our system, David Bentnick, who is now an icon agent on our team, who is having the last 2 years have been record-breaking years for him. Sold 58 houses last year.
Wow.
Is on pace to sell probably 60 houses this year, in the midst of a down market. I've got Matt Kelderman, who went from a sales trainer on another real estate team to going individual and didn't have any luck, as an individual, joined our team here less than a year ago, and year to date he's already pended and sold 11, and I think he's got 5 or 6 more under contract. So by the end of 2025, he'll be at 33, 35 houses sold. So and again, it's taking people and making sure that they're following the systems.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some very, very impressive numbers. So where do you see yourself taking your organization and your team over like the next 12 to 24 months? Because obviously it's exciting that you're a partner with Place, which a lot of people watching this might not even know what it is because you're the first person I've spoken with on this podcast that's been a partner of Place. So why don't you explain to us what that is and where you see yourself taking all of this in the next 12 to 24 months?
Absolutely. So Place is a platform that partners only with the top 1% of teams and agents. And what Place does it's a playbook. It's a guaranteed successful playbook if you follow it. And so Place comes in and becomes an agent partner with myself as an operator and with my team members. So we're following the Place playbook. We have a 12-week agent launch boot camp that, if as long as our agents follow it, we are guaranteeing success. It will help agents come in to say, at minimum, you will sell 12 houses a year. And if you sell 12 houses a year, you get the opportunity to stay on our team on the Good Home team. Anything over that is then you start to unlock opportunities. So at 12 houses, once you sell 12 houses with the Good Home team, you now have the ability to buy shares of Place. We just launched our ticker symbol. It's PLAC, and we are pre-IPO. So there's an opportunity for our agents not to only to get EXP shares and stocks, but they can also buy and earn shares of Place.
Cool.
And if they need health insurance, we have legitimate health insurance options. Think Fortune 500 companies. Once they sell 25 houses in a year, if they need health insurance, we can offer them a health insurance plan. We cover 70% of that cost. They only have to pick up the other 30%. A lot of agents are running they're running the risk of no health insurance. And, they're one catastrophe away from being bankrupt because of that. And then we have leadership growth opportunities. It's called our leverage model. The more that they sell in a month, once they start selling 8 houses a month, we will get them into having a full-time virtual assistant that supports only them, so that they don't become a slave to the business. Right. The whole goal of being a real estate business owner, a real estate entrepreneur, is that so eventually you can get time freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The more money you get in this business, unfortunately, means that you have less time to spend elsewhere. We help you buy your time back through leverage and scalability. That's part of our Place network. Again, we are one of the, Places is by far the largest, we'll quote unquote, team out there. If you go look on Real Trends and you go look at the Wall Street Journal, just look up Place. We by far outsell, as a company as a whole, we outsell the entire, we're number one in the United States in terms of transactions and volume. And then just for our rev share organization, it's to be able to help grow more icon agents, right? It's if they're in a different state, or if they're in a different area, what we are teaching, the fundamental principles that we're teaching, works anywhere. We're not just teaching cold calling. We're teaching attraction type methods that are proactive attraction methods in order to get people to start sending business to you. It's about following systems and models that work anywhere in the United States. So my number one goal is to be able to develop and help grow more icon agents. And an icon agent is someone who caps here at EXP. So they're selling enough real estate that they paid in $16,000 to their cap, and then they've hit their additional sales after that to become an icon agent. So they can earn up to $16,000 of company stock back from EXP. And I will share with you, Jesse, because of the icon shares and the stock that I've earned here, last year I sold $225,000 worth of stock to be able to buy a rental property all cash that is now grown in value. It's now worth $100,000 more than what I bought it, and it's a cash flowing machine. So I would have tapped into another source in order to go buy this opportunity that was presented to me, but I didn't have to because of the shares of EXP.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, what kind of agent are you looking to partner with right now? One, organizational, but two, also, believe it or not, I get a lot of people that actually reach out to me from McKinney and Dallas. So, whether they're brand new or a solo or a teammate, team lead, you would be a great person to refer them to. So, who are you looking to partner with?
So from a team perspective, again, it's the same agent that would join our rev share group and our downline organization. They need to be hungry, right? They need to be motivated and want success. So it's hungry, humble, and motivated. That's gonna come in and go through the training and implement what we're teaching for our team. So again, we can take a brand new agent from zero deals to at minimum 12 deals a year if they're going to come in and follow just the bare minimum basics. But we know that we can take a brand new agent from zero to $100,000. I'm a co-author in the best-selling book called Six Figure Agent, and that's what it's based off of, is taking agents from zero to making six figures, which is, in order to make $1 million a year, you first have to make $100,000,
Amen.
right? So that's, the $1 million, the $100,000 is just the stop in order to make $1 million. And so we're looking for people that want to be part of a team, that want that culture, that environment. We have a physical office location here in Plano, Texas, that they can get to come into and be part of the camaraderie. We have a top agent mastermind only for the good home team. So if they're part of our top quarter sales and listings, then they get to be a part of our inclusive or exclusive top agent mastermind lunch. And we bring in guest speakers. Like we've got a person coming in for our next top agent mastermind named Kyle Fuller, who's going to teach about how to build and become your own bank, becoming your own personal banker through insurance policies. And
Nice.
so it's about taking that over and really controlling your wealth and starting to be able to build generational wealth, even though you may not have millions and millions of dollars. And then for our downline organization, it could be, part-time, like even part-time agents are we have a part-time agent blueprint that they can follow. And again, it's about, I'm gonna hammer this to death. It's about following the systems and models, because part-time agents don't have a lot of time to devote. And so they need everything working in the background to help identify the key people that are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And then, individual agents that want to give it a go on their own, and we are going to do everything in our power to help them become icon agents and help them grow. Or maybe small team leaders that are struggling to be profitable right now. Most small team owners and operators, if we really look in their P&Ls, the only reason they're profitable is because they are the ones doing the majority of the sales. The team, their team members are, maybe if they're lucky, just paying the day-to-day expenses. But
Yeah.
more than likely, it's a drag on the entire system, and they would make more money being an individual, or they need to learn how to implement the right team structure and the right team systems so that they could go from not just being the rainmaker, but go to being a true business team owner, to where, they're just running it. They're just running the day to day. They're guiding it with their vision. And now they're making the type of income. They have the leverage in there, and they can actually enjoy vacations.
Exactly. So where can people go to learn more about Nick Good and the Good Home Team?
Absolutely. They look at our website. It's buythegoodway.com, BUY, thegoodway.com. And then you can go to my personal site, nickgood.work. And then you can always schedule a call with me on there, or always just reach out to, if you're seeing this, reach out to Jesse. We'd love to learn how we could just tag team it and be a co-sponsor together. This is all about collaboration.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why I brought Nick on today, you guys, is we have the most expansive opportunity in the history of real estate knocking at our door, and it now allows us to open up multiple layers of collaboration support and to help you accelerate your business. So you heard everything that Nick said today was very impactful and strategic, and it goes back to basics, but also like how can we take you to the next level? Nick, in my opinion, has a lot of great resources, and he's got a lot of knowledge. You've been one of the first true operators we've had on the podcast. A lot of people in this space are influential leaders through social media marketing and whatnot. So I love the fact that you're all about the tactfulness of executing real estate through, the basics, having a plan, setting up your systems. Also, a partner of place adds another layer of value to you. So I think that's very attractive to new agents, team leads, and solo agents looking to grow their business. So I just wanted to say thanks again for hopping on today, and definitely look forward to co-sponsorship with you in the future. And if there's anything else you want to share, let us know.
Let's do it, buddy. I truly appreciate what you're doing, and what the biggest takeaway is. Again, I'm going to harp on this. Collaboration is key in this environment. I built my business during the '08 crash,
Hmm.
and the only reason my business grew, not just because I was willing to do the work, but because I attended, there was masterminds, and we created collaboration and accountability groups during that time. And the people that are still in business today were the ones that were consistently going to those accountability groups here in my area. The ones that are not in business were ones that showed up, got uncomfortable, weren't willing to do the work, and they are no longer in this industry. So, what you're doing, Jesse, with this co-sponsorship deal and with providing all this, it's all about collaboration. And if people are willing to show up, they're willing to put the work in. I would love to be in partnership with them, and I'd love to be in partnership with you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, you guys heard it here first, and we'll see you on the next one.